in this problem, we're going to try to do some simplification. So here we are given that x is greater or equal than 1, and we are trying to find or simplify this expression given by a is the absolute value of x minus 1 plus the absolute value of x squared minus x plus the absolute value of x cubed minus x squared, etc., until the last one, which is the absolute value of x to the power n minus x to the power n minus 1. So here we can find this simple expression. That means we need to get rid of the absolute value. We don't want to keep the absolute value. Okay? So a good thing to do in this kind of problems is just to start. See what you can get. Okay? So the first thing that we have is that, well, let's start with this first term. So you have x minus 1. So the absolute value of this one is x minus 1 is bigger than, positive is x minus 1 bigger than 0. That means x bigger than 1. Okay? And we are given this condition, so we don't need to study any more conditions. So here we have x minus 1. So that we don't need to study the other side. So we stop here. Okay? So when we start, we get the solution, just one step, and the problem is solved. Now the next one, okay? The next one is x squared minus x, okay? If we can see there is some relationship between this one and x minus 1. Yes, there is a relationship. Okay, it's just x times x minus 1. Okay, but we don't need this one. If you don't see it, we don't need it. In fact, we are given this here. So x is bigger than 1. So since x is bigger than 1, that means x minus 1 is bigger than 0. That means the absolute value of this one is just itself. It's x minus 1 because it's positive. Okay, so the next one is, so we have x minus 1 is bigger than 0. That means we can multiply by x because it's positive. We get x squared minus x bigger than 0. And this number, when we take its absolute value, it's the same because it's positive, because x is bigger than 1 here. So therefore, the absolute value of x squared minus x is just x squared minus x. So this gives us a clue about solving all these problems. Okay? So in fact, we can see that from this idea of x bigger than 1, if we keep multiplying, we get x squared is bigger than x. So that means x squared minus x bigger than 0. So its absolute value is the same. X cubed bigger than x squared. That means x cubed minus x squared absolute value is the same. And x to the power 4 is bigger than x cubed. I'm multiplying by x every time because I'm given that x is bigger than 1. So here, x to the power 4 minus x cubed is just x to the power 4 minus x cubed because it's positive. I don't need to care about the other side, okay? Because I have this restriction here. So, etc. I keep going until the last one, okay? So I have x to the power n is bigger than x minus 1, x to the power n minus 1. That means x to the power n minus x to the power n minus 1 is bigger than 0, and its absolute value is the same. So therefore, this gives me that x minus 1, absolute value x minus 1, plus the absolute value x squared minus x, etc. until the last one, x to the power n minus x to the power n minus 1. So here I get x minus 1 plus x squared minus x plus x to the power n minus x to the power n minus 1. Okay, notice here, we need to notice what's this term here before this one. So it's x to n minus 1 minus x minus 2. And what's this one here? It's x to the power 3 minus x squared. Because I want to start something. Note here, this minus x will go with this one. This minus 1 will be left here. This x squared will go with this x squared. And x cubed will go with minus x cubed. By the end, this plus x to the power n minus 1 will go with this one. And this one will go with the previous one. So all I'm left with is minus 1 plus x to the power n, which is giving me x and x to the power n minus 1. Therefore, my a is x to the power n minus 1. So this simplifies my problem. Okay? And I don't need to worry about any other thing. Okay? The good thing about the I think TI-89 is great. So to convince yourself, so do it for 3. So for 3 we have x minus 1 plus x squared minus x plus x cubed minus x. Do this one in TI-89 titanium. I think the titanium. Yes, it has to be titanium. So do it and you're gonna see that you have x cubed minus 1. But impose the condition here. Impose the condition that x is bigger than 1. And it will give you this one exactly. Okay? This is an example. And I think that's it. Thank you very much.